I first arrived at the examination center, I was quite early. I was about an hour early, and they gave me a place to sit. And so try to prepare yourself ahead of time, because you're not going to have time to practice. As I was waiting for my name being called, I was actually listening to the audios that I've downloaded beforehand, and these audios are usually speeches or documentaries which I've extracted, just the audio, because I wanted to listen to good English before I go into the room. Okay, when my name was called, I went in, I greeted the examiner. She was a very nice lady, so I sat at my place, and she asked for my ID, and she asked how I was, and I did not ask her how she was, because there's no point of starting a conversation. She's not your friend, she is still your examiner, right? But if you want to, you can say, I suppose. After that, then she said that, okay, your test is going to begin, and she asked part 1. Okay, part 1 was, first was whether I was working or not, and am I planning to study after this. And then she asked about whether I prefer receiving letters or online messages, in which I said that I prefer to receive letters, but then I tried to say that it's not as popular as before, so I'm not going to be very judgmental when people don't send me that. One of the most shocking questions she asked was, the question was, on your birthday, would you prefer if people send handwritten letters or a message in social media account? And I said that I prefer if people send me handwritten letters because it's more personal. When I said that, she asked, why do you say it's more personal? I did not expect that question. So I stumbled for a few seconds. That is normal. Don't get so worked out, but just make sure that the pause is not very long. So then I gave a few answers, and she seemed happy. And one of the best thing about my examiner was that she was very attentive. She didn't have that judgmental, stare on your face. No, she just looked as if she was very interested on the things that I was saying, and that actually was a major factor that calmed me down. Once part 1 was done, she stopped me, and she said, okay, now we're going to go to part 2. She gave a very brief introduction about that 1 minute preparation time and 2 minutes of speaking time, and then she gave me a booklet. I think she has the power to choose which questions she wanted, and she showed me the booklet, and there was already a question on there, and she said, I'm going to give you 1 minute, and please prepare your answers. So I looked at the question, and I got the shock of my life.
Oh my God, I'm having palpitations!
The question was to talk about sports that you enjoy watching with your friends. And I know I was in deep trouble because I don't watch sports with my friends. In fact, I don't watch sports at all. So what happened was, since I basically had no idea what to say, I actually remembered a story that a friend told me about what he does when he watches sports with his friends, and I actually put myself in that situation, and I actually did a very simple structure of what are the things that I'm going to say. I tried to add things like my emotions, a chronological sequence in the way I was answering, what happened before, what happened after, what is currently happening. I did all this in the first 50 seconds, and the next 10 seconds I used to actually to arrange these points. And then she said that, okay, 1 minute is over. She actually gave a few grace seconds, I think, of 5 to 6 seconds, and then she said, okay, now we're going to begin your speaking test. And then she started the 2 minute period, and I started speaking and speaking. I remember that I actually ran out of things to say 10 seconds before the 2 minute ended. So that is okay, because you're supposed to speak for more than 1 minute and for at least 1 minute and a half. So if your speaking time exceeds 1 minute and a half, I think you guys are fine. And I got an 8.5, so I suppose I did okay.
Oh, shut up! Just shut up, you babbling, bubble-headed, bleached blonde. Baboon, baboon.
You guys must be so curious, how the did I get 8.5? Well, I was as shocked as you are. To be honest, I think I'm more shocked than you guys are. But the thing is, it's quite simple. There are very few steps, but you have to be consistent in practicing. And next week I'm gonna upload all the tips that you're gonna need to ace your speaking test. So please hit subscribe and hit like if you enjoyed the video. And please share your comments. I really value your feedbacks, and I've received a few messages, personal messages. But you can either send personal messages, you could either comment. That is okay. But I really appreciate your opinions. We could even have a discussion. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.